Welcome.
Yes, we are
welcome.
live.
Wow, International Boys Conference 2026.
Yippee.
Amazing.
Amazing. Welcome to International Boys Conference 2026. Coach Ebuka, let's roll the drum. Yes, this is the gathering dedicated to boys to
Absolutely.
raise strong minds, strong spirits, sound character, and
Absolutely.
purpose-driven boys.
Absolutely.
This is that room where wisdom will flow like never before. This is that room where we are raising a generation of boys who will change the narrative and turn the world upside down positively. Welcome once again to the International Boys Conference 2026.
Amazing.
We've been waiting for you.
Absolutely. You know, just reflecting today how we started in 2020, how we are planning, and COVID came, and yes, we had to do it virtual.
Yeah.
And since 2020, we've been on
Mhm.
2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024,
Wow.
2025, and now is the seventh International Boys Conference 2026. It's been a journey
It's
of
been a journey.
impact,
Yes.
transformation,
Yes.
light. Something was amazing happened last week when we had the volunteer meeting. I was one of the boys who was part of International Boys Conference 2023 sharing his journey, how he's now a volunteer. He said it was so impactful that when he left high school, he has to look for these people to join them in helping other people, and that's been most amazing.
It's been amazing.
I'm sure you have your wonderful experiences to share about
IBC. IBC every year is an experience.
It's an experience.
IBC doesn't come to me as an event.
Absolutely.
It doesn't come to me as a conference. It comes as an experience. And it's so amazing to know that we are not the only ones who have IBC as an experience. You will also enjoy the experience that comes with IBC.
Absolutely.
We have seen transformation. We have encountered reformation. We have seen the lives of many boys turn around for good. Guess what? We have also heard parents share testimonies.
Yeah, because we started having parents session.
Yes.
And it's been mind-blowing.
It's been mind-blowing.
I myself have been learning a lot from IBC.
In fact, there are so many things I can't forget.
I'm telling you, last year was impactful. Coach session, I can't forget the things she said, and Coach Kulek spoke.
I remember we almost jumping off our seats.
Interesting. And this year promises to be really impactful, right? We're going to have a whole lot to learn from, and even the physical gathering this year. We're having the largest number this year. Over 3,000 boys will be in that hall on Saturday.
Yes,
all right. We'll look forward to when we're going to be having some of you joining us from Australia, from Canada, from US, from UK, from China, from India, coming physically for the physical event. We're going to be welcoming our international participants live.
Very soon.
Not just virtually.
It's really going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
I want to really appreciate God for how far God has brought us. Now, let me say this in case you're joining us for the first time. You're like, what are they even doing? I just registered. What are they even doing?
Who are these people?
You will soon know. But I want you to know that this is a gathering celebrating boys. 16th of May, which is on Saturday, is the World Day of the Boy Child.
Absolutely.
Yes, there's a day to celebrate boys. They did not do anything to us. There's a day to celebrate them. And yes, I remove my cap. I add more feathers to celebrate boys.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me you're a woman. Why are you celebrating boys? I will celebrate them. They are amazing. They are fantastic. Without them, I do not even know how the world would be. So please leave it. Let them end their flowers.
All right.
So we are celebrating boys May 16. And this conference is put together to equip boys with so much. First of all, to let them know how important they are. And to equip both boys, parents, educators, stakeholders, that boys are important. And there is something in them that needs to be trained to come out. So that's why we're here. And that's why you are also here.
Absolutely.
You will have fun in this conference.
Fun.
I promise you.
And we are Ebuka and Ruth, the founders of Save the Boys Initiative and Boys Leadership Academy.
Yep.
That organization organizing this program you are in. Around, we are dedicated to raising boys. There are a lot of boys that are not on this call. You know your friends. Your parents need to reach out to them. Please get your sons to join, get your friends to join. Make sure you share the link with every boy you know to be part of this transforming experience. Welcome you. We have people joining that have registered from over 30 countries.
Yeah.
All right, for IBC 2026. And we welcome you all from wherever
Welcome
you're
you.
joining us from. We say welcome. No. Ekabo.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So let's involve you. Please go to the chat room. Go to the chat room. Tell us your name and where you are joining us from. We like to do it this way. So if your name is David, you like to give us the first letter of your name describing yourself. So you're going to say, my name is Delightful David, and I'm joining from Denmark. Come on,
like me, exceptional Ebuka, joining from Abuja, Nigeria.
Exceptional Ebuka. What am I now? Hey, just tell us your name and where you're joining us from.
You're not a boy, so
okay. Don't talk to me. You're welcome. Tehimba from Nigeria. We see you.
Can see you.
Welcome.
Every one of you.
Welcome, every one of you. We see all of you in the chat room. Welcome, Michael Williams, joining from Nigeria. Successful success. I like it. Dynamic David. Tenacious Tolu and Mimi. Mishak and every one of you.
Welcome.
You are most welcome. Smart
Amazing.
Shemilori.
Yes.
Wonderful.
All right. Please make sure you tell everybody, share the link, everyone you know, and let's get them in before we start, our first teaching. All right. It's going to be mind-blowing. I'll have some testimonies of impacts, beautiful videos you'd like to see about our journey and where we are coming from. So sit back
and
enjoy. We'll be right back.
Ebuka's passion for boys is driven by a deep desire to see young men grow into purpose-driven, godly leaders. He believes many boys today lack clear identity and positive male role models. Ebuka decided to step in, not just as a mentor, but as a father figure.
I was just so passionate about these young people. I started talking to them, counseling. And before I knew it, everybody was around me. They were asking questions. I would see these boys break down, crying, talking about what they've been through, talking about their struggles, talking about things they've not been able to talk to anybody about. And I just felt this sense of fulfillment, counseling, mentoring, molding them. I saw transformation. I saw these boys happy again.
With time, he realized his heart was leading him toward a lifetime partnership with his longtime friend, Ruth. Ebuka and Ruth got married. At a defining moment, Ebuka stepped away from work to commit fully to mentoring boys. In 2009, Save the Boys initiative was born as a response to the silent struggles of boys battling with addiction, trauma, bullying, the absence of father figures, and a lack of direction.
God said, I'm raising you as saviors. And that was where the name Save the Boys came out. Started going to schools, going to the street, talking to people about saving boys, going to schools, talking to boys about issues. And the work started growing massively. And we kept asking the Lord, how do we go further? That's why the Lord gave us the idea of the Boys Leadership Academy. It's like a leadership institute, an online school where boys will be trained. All right. And God told us to write resources. We've written over 25 books for boys, counting that sold in thousands of copies. God gave us the idea of camps running in different states and countries. And through that, God has provided massive resources that have been prompting even, helping vulnerable boys.
Coach Ebuka and Coach Ruth has taught us a lot about leadership and responsibility, sexual abuse, and many more. In my experience, this is the best place because not many boys have an opportunity like this.
I've learned CPR, I've learned some cooking skills, and I've also learned how to knot a tie.
I've learned a lot about spiritual growth in my spiritual life and how to encounter God in my everyday life.
Through mentorship, teaching, and simply being present, Ebuka and Ruth are shaping futures, one boy at a time.
If our boys are not equipped to lead families, the families of the next generation will have no leaders.
We must go to the root. Deal with the issues from the foundation.
If that one boy is not saved, he has the capacity of ruining a nation, a family. But God is helping us. Because the testimonies we are seeing, people delivered from drug, homosexuality, deep issues, these testimonies keep us going.
Welcome back. I'm sure you were smiling just like I was as we listened to that impact story from us, the founders of this initiative. This has been a journey, and we are so grateful for the testimonies that we see. Yet again, we are about to plant another seed. We are farmers, actually, in the field of boys, and we are planting seeds. Seeds that we are very sure will germinate and bear much fruit. Once again, in this opening session of the International Boys Conference 2026, we will be listening to the very first speaker. Now, my dear boys, I want you to come with an open heart. In case you're watching me right now and you don't have a writing material, you are wrong. You need to get a writing material. Get your pen, because you are going to take notes from the things that you are going to hear. And I can bet that the things you hear will shift your mindset and transform you. It will move you forward to where you are supposed to be. We're going to have the next speaker come up. I feel like not telling you the name of the person, but guess what? I am going to tell you. It is the man of the vision. The man behind this vision. He's going to be opening tonight with us, and he will be speaking on the topic, the disciplined life. No boy can do anything of impact without the application of discipline. And that's what Coach Ebuka will be dealing with tonight. Make sure You listen. No chatting unnecessarily in the chat room. No writing of wrong things in the chat room. I can see some boys putting some wrong emoji. Please stop it. Make sure you sit down so that moments that will come to you for transformation. The next person that you're going to see on your screen will be no other person but the one we fondly call the King of Boys. I'm sure when you listen to him, you would know why we call him the King of Boys.
Meet Coach Ebuka Obika Ede, boys coach, mentor, and transformational leader, founder of the Save the Boys Initiative and executive director of the Boys Leadership Academy. Passionate about boys development and youth mentoring through coaching, training, and leadership development. Certified in emotional intelligence and organizational leadership. A sociology graduate with a master's in organizational leadership. For over a decade, he has mentored boys and young people, TEDx speaker and convener of impactful boys conferences, author of over 23 books for boys and young men, recipient of awards for his humanitarian impact and leadership, happily married to Coach Ruth for over 9 years and blessed with children and foster sons, dedicated to raising positive and productive future leaders. Please welcome Coach Ebuka Obika Ede. Meet Coach.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Welcome back. Sorry for that breaking transmission. I want to welcome all our kings to International Boys Conference 2026 and its Reformation. Someone would ask, Coach, why are we still talking about Reformation after 7 years? Because that is the goal, that is the vision, a world of reformed men. So we keep preaching, we keep talking about it, we keep speaking about it until we see that. So I'm going to be talking about the disciplined life, habits that shape kings. I'm sure my slides will come up and then we'll be able to all view it together. Please, I will appreciate if my slide is up. Thank you very much. I will appreciate if my slide comes up. Thank you very much. The disciplined life, habits that shape kings. So in this first teaching, we're talking about discipline. And I have a lot of stories to share with you. Some people's life that I want us to also learn from as we progress on the journey. All right. And this is going to be a beautiful experience. I want everyone to, focus, to learn and to build. All right. My slide is coming up right shortly, and you're going to see it. Thank you very much, media team, for your help. I am grateful. All right. Greatness, as I start, is not a destination. Greatness. So make sure you have your journals, your pen, and make sure you're writing. Greatness, King, is not a destination. It's a journey of becoming a better version of yourself. Nobody ever became great by just arriving. And so I'm going to be sharing a lot of stories from my life, how I've grown to where I am, and I'm going to also be inspiring you by stories of other great people, all right, around the world. So make sure you write this, that success is not a destination. It's a journey of becoming a better version of yourself. And see what? In becoming great, discipline is key. There's nobody that has ever become great in life without discipline. You say you just jump into greatness. You just got there like that. Nobody. It starts with possessing a sense of discipline, putting in the work, putting in the labor, working hard to ensure that your life becomes. And I said, discipline is possessing a sense of mission in the pursuit of your life. Yes, I can see that my screen is up. I hope they can see me as my screen is up. All right. It's a sense of mission. Is bringing yourself under necessity to achieve your goal. So there's no way you can achieve your goal if you don't bring yourself under necessity. Bring under discipline. I say it is setting order over your life, because a life that has no order can never make progress. So I say, Lord, boy, I say, I want to be the best this in my life. I want to be the best pilot. Oh, I want to be an astronaut. I'm sure we saw our astronaut that went to the moon. And a lot of boys are saying they want to be astronauts. But you could see how long it took them to get to that point. For years, they were planning, putting things in place, structure, discipline, commitment, dedication to the work, calculation. What do we need to get there? How do we become? They didn't just arrive there. It was a process. So there's no way you can become great in life when there's no discipline. And we're going to look at stories of 3 people in this session, all right, that will show us about a life of discipline. And the first person I'll talk about is Usain Bolt. His story is so inspiring. Usain Bolt grew up in a humble background in Jamaica. I'm sure you can see my screen. I hope they can see it. All right. Where his natural speed stood out. So he even had an advantage as a young man. He had speed. All right. He was tall. He was talented, competitive. Even though he struggled with focus and discipline at the beginning, all right, before committing himself to training that eventually made him the fastest in the world. He had an advantage, all right? He also had limitations. What are some of the limitations he had from the beginning? He had injuries during his early days of his career, all right? He had a spine condition. He was criticized for being too tall, even though it was an advantage. But guess what? Despite these challenges, mentors and coaches continue to push Usain Bolt towards greatness. Usain Bolt said he trained for 4 years to run for 9 seconds. Can you see that? He trained for 4 years to run for 9 seconds. You know what that means? Training for 4 years just to run for 9 seconds. Just to be able to hit his target. For such discipline, such tenacity, such resilience. So when you see him say, Usain Bolt, he broke every record, set his own record. Some of his records, some people have not broken it. But nobody saw the work he was doing. Let's look at some of the things that Usain Bolt did. His discipline. But before I even look at some of the things he did, let me even show you some issues he went through. All right? Some advantage he had and how he turned that into purpose. Look at his discipline that built his success. Usain Bolt's lightning speed isn't just about dedication. It's a recipe of training, physique, and even genetics. So he had an advantage. His height and stride length was an advantage. It gives a natural advantage. He has long legs to cover more grounds in each step. So he had an edge. His muscle composition was an advantage. He had a high percentage muscle fiber. You had an advantage. All right? He had a lactate threshold. That's a waste product produced by the muscle during exercise. Both had a high tolerance for this. So it was an advantage. All right? So both had genes that gave him an advantage. But guess what? He didn't stop there. He said, since I have the height, since I have the muscle, I'm going to win. There are people taller than Usain Bolt, has more advantage than him, yet they are not where he is. So it was not enough for Usain Bolt to have advantage. There was more to it. What did we see there? You see my slide? He said, Usain Bolt trained for 6 days. Make sure you're not distracted on the chat room. If you're distracted, please can lock the chat room so everybody can concentrate. I will appreciate we turn off the chat in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, media. So everybody can concentrate. Look at what Usain did. He trained for 6 days a week, 11 months a year. He went to the gym for 90 minutes every day, training to improve his speed, his agility, and his endurance. So he would have said, I have the height advantage. I have the muscle advantage. I have the lactate threshold advantage. Just remain there. Yet, this man trained for 4 years just to hit the 9 seconds target. That is discipline. We have people taller than him, more muscular than him, even with more advantage than him. Why are they not hitting it? He didn't say, I have the advantage and stop there. He was able to push even beyond the advantage. I've seen a lot of boys who say, oh, my parents are wealthy. We live in the Canada, in US, we have everything we want. We don't need anybody. I go to the best of school. You can go to the best of school and still end up a drug addict. You can be the best student in your school and still don't become what God wants you to be. If you don't put the discipline in place, that's what we saw in the Usain Bolt. And guess what? How did he build success for him? Consistent training and repetition, strong self-belief and confidence, ability for Usain Bolt to recover from setback, staying coachable and teachable, performing calmly under pressure, and maintaining focus for many, many years. And we saw him broke records, set his record, of which some have not been broken. That was a man who had resilience. That was a man who chose to push beyond any limitation, who did not even look at the advantage around him, who knew where he was going to. A lot of boys are not where they should be today because they lack discipline. Some feel they have the advantage. Oh, my parents have all the money. Why should I read? Why should I thrive? We have seen a lot of children of the wealthy, even in prisons, even in drug habitation, even their lives battered and shattered. And what lesson are we learning from Usain Bolt in the next slide? That the outcome of your life, whether success or failure, is your choice. Do you know he would have still been a failure even with the advantage he had? He would have still been a failure. The outcome of your life is your choice, whether you fail or you succeed. And you know what? There's nothing extraordinary on his own. It's man's extraordinary input that makes everything extraordinary. Nobody was just like, you're extraordinary. Hey, it's extraordinary. No. It's your, what makes anything extraordinary? It's your input. What input are you giving to life? What input are you giving to life? And I said in my slide, you are the most fertile season of your life. And only the seed you sow today will secure your future. We see a lot of boys who lack discipline. Discipline of attention. Discipline of focus. Discipline of responsibility. We can even see it in the chat room. Some of you entered and you're telling me 6, 7. You are distracted. You're talking, you're playing. No discipline. And no king has ever made progress and entered the palace in that attitude. Let this be a turning point for you. The step to greatness cannot happen for irresponsible people. Guess what, son? There's vacancy in the palace, and only disciplined men can access it. Because the way to the palace is rigorous. It requires strength and agility, resilience and understanding. Look at when we are looking for people in Babylon. Look at the criteria they gave. Knowledgeable in science, no blemish on your skin, which means if you have been fighting and you have a lot of scar on you, you are not qualified. No blemish. Can you see the qualification for greatness? It was not a joke. The qualification for greatness is not ordinary. You must push. You are the most fertile season of your life. Sow the seed to grow. Sow the seed to secure your future. And the second person I want to talk about is Cosmos Maduka. Oh, wonderful story. Let's look at this story. I hope they can see that. Look at this man's story and how he was able to push. What discipline brought him to. Just watch. This man lost his father at the age of 4 and grew in deep poverty. So most say, hey, my father is dead now, my mother is dead. Where will I be? This life is difficult. God failed me. No, at the age of 4, He was in deep poverty. He sold akara called bean cake, all right, in Nigeria and Africa. And he's with his mother on the street. So every evening, the mother will go to the street and be frying bean cake. He will stay with the mother, helping to sell. Some boys would have said, please, I'm too big to do this. But he stayed. He could not even complete his education because he didn't have money. But he kept pushing. During the Civil War, he almost died, but God helped him to escape death. As if that was not enough. Later on, he couldn't continue school, no money. He went to do apprenticeship under his uncle in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, which means he went to serve his uncle, learning trade with his uncle, working without pay. Sometimes he was beating on the street just to endure intense hardship. This people would have said, life is bad. Let me join my friends. Oh, I cannot serve anybody. Oh, hey, let me go and smoke. Let me go and drink. No, he went to serve. Since there was no money to go to school, let me go and serve. Sorry, are you watching that? He was serving. He was even baiting on the street because they couldn't afford sometimes where to bait. But we saw resilience. But in those difficulties, you know what this man did? He learned resilience. He learned discipline, trust, accountability. He had his uncle was mentoring him as he was learning trade. Discipline, accountability, sacrifice. The discipline of serving faithfully. He didn't steal for the uncle. He didn't run away and say, this work is too much. I'm even tired. I don't want stress in this work. Nobody should tell me what to do. They say I should carry something on my head. I should sell. Nobody should tell me. He learned the discipline of faithfulness. So many boys don't have it. Some of you, you complain, you whine, the work is too hard. My mom is telling me what to do. My mom is moving around. Hey, this life is difficult. I cannot continue. This man served faithfully. Even when he had to take him to bait on the street, he's a young man like us. But guess what? He chose not just to survive, but to rise above failure. Failure did not stop him. Despite the challenges, mentors and coaches continue to push him towards success. Guess what today? We were disciplined. The next slide. Now, after ending the apprenticeship, you know what he did? He now started selling spare parts of cars as his business. After, he served, they blessed him. He started his own business. Selling. The journey was filled with setbacks, betrayals, losses, failed partnership, a whole lot. Many times things fell apart. Yet every failure was a lesson for him. Every failure was a lesson for him. I hope they can see and hear me. Every failure was a lesson for him. One principle that kept him moving, he kept standing up, he kept learning, kept building, and guess what? At the age of 15, he has gotten a house for himself. 15, he got a house for himself. Written on his wall that he will get married at 19. and get a car at 23, and that he will be a millionaire at 25. That's what he wrote. That is what he kept seeing every day. He had a vision that I'm not going to be wasteful. I'm not going to be a useless person. He wrote on, when they're telling boys today, what is your vision? What are you writing? What are you seeing? What some of you are seeing is cartoon. Hey, Superman, Spider-Man. Hey, you're playing all manner. What are you seeing? This man wrote on his wall. When we tell boys in the academy, what's your vision? What is your goal for life? The man wrote, I will get married at 19, a car at 23, a millionaire at 25. I don't want to be wasteful. His daily life was built on his discipline, hard work, integrity, consistency, faith, and long-term vision. And I wrote here that adversity is a refining fire that burns out the impurities in life. Now, guess who this same poor man is today? The 4 years old that lost his father, that went to serve, that was beating on the streets, that couldn't continue his education. He pushed. Where is he today? Today in Nigeria, Cosmos Maduka is the sole distributor of BMW cars in Nigeria. His company sells hundreds of high-end vehicles Montreal across Nigeria, including brands like BMW, Ford, Jaguar, and Range Rover. The same poor person, the same person that couldn't afford education, the same person that was sleeping on the streets, he pushed, he was disciplined, he kept building. In Nigeria today, he's the sole distributor of a BMW. Look at what today he has employed over 3,000 staff across Nigeria and West Africa. The same person that couldn't afford education. Today, he's potentially placed his wealth as high as $5 billion. The same person that couldn't afford education. Today, Koschari's group has grown into a business empire valued about 500 million to 800 in net worth estimate, depending on valuation model. Today, a man that started with just few hundreds in 1977 has built Koschari's into a conglomerate that now employs thousands of Nigeria across multiple industries and sectors. Today, 500 trillion plus total value of transaction have been processed in Nigeria. The same poor man, the same person that lost his father, the same person that was sleeping on the street, the same person that couldn't afford education, the same person that had to go and serve as a child to build tenacity. Today, the world is celebrating him. Today is a billionaire, not just in naira, but in dollars, in foreign currencies. Today has employed thousands of people across the globe. The same person. What made the difference? Let's look at my next slide. Today, what he started with just 200 naira capital in 1977 and building from small auto part trade has grown into a multi-sector empire. Koschari's now stands as one of Africa's leading business group, partnering with global brands all over the world. Jaguar, Ford, Land Rover, Rolls-Royce, all over. From sleeping in hardship to sitting at the table of influence. Koschari's has become a symbol of possibility and transformation. His greatest desire was not just success, sons, but purpose. To return to his maker empty, he's pouring out every gift potential he has placed on him. What will the world recognize you for? What will be your own impact story? A drug addict? A fraudster? A gamer that has lost interest in life and destiny? What will be your own story? What excuse do you have compared to this man? You're even going to school, he couldn't go. You even see have your parents, he didn't have his father. He almost died at war, you are not at war. He was serving people at a young age as a child, betting on the street, you are not even there. Why can't you succeed? Yet he's a leading voice in the world. What is stopping you? Assembling cars in Nigeria. The world is a shopping mall. You can buy anything provided you are willing to pay the price. If this person who had nothing can push, strive, break through the limitation to become, what is stopping you? You are 7, they beg you to read. You are 16, they beg you to study. They beg you to read book. You struggle with taking instruction. The world, I will say again, is a shopping mall. You can buy anything you want, provided you are willing to pay. So take something out of nothing and run with it. What are we learning from him? Anybody can be a success if you know and do what it takes. We are learning that access to the top is always at a cost. You have to pay the cost. You have to pay the price of discipline. He had to pay. When others were misbehaving, he chose to stand. He chose to marry early so that he will not be distracted. He chose to build so that he can become what God has called him to be. And I said to you, it's not about where you are or about who you are. Because in life, The purchasing power in the world is universal. Anywhere, whether in US, whether in Australia, whether in Jamaica, whether in Kenya, whether in Ghana, the purchasing power is universal. Anywhere you are in life, whatever you put in is what you will get out of it. It is not limited by location. You can be anything you want to be. Let's look at the last story as we try to round up. The story of Tosin, the founder of Money Point. Powerful story. Powerful story. Tosin Enioluwa Enioroludan grew up in Nigeria with strong interest in technology, problem solving, innovation. He studied engineering, all right, and built a career through discipline, technical skill, continuous learning. So before he was known, he worked in a software engineering, all right, and gained experience in building digital systems and solving, complex problems. So early in his journey, this was what he did. Under leadership, he did a lot. So after learning, building, he now started growing something that has become massive in Africa. Oh my God, his story is so powerful. Today, under his leadership, Money Point has expanded across Africa. Millions of transactions are processed. The company has become one of Africa's major fintech success stories. He emerged as one of the Nigeria's influential tech entrepreneurs. Why? Discipline. He built something that no one has built. He went beyond every limitation. I'm showing you other young men like us who have gone ahead. People you can relate with. Because sometimes I want to talk about this, maybe they are white, that's why. But I'm showing you black people who stood out, who are shining light, who are making impact in the world, who advanced against all odds, who built a life of discipline. What were his discipline? Tosin had deep learning. He consistently developed technical and business knowledge. He had a problem-solving mindset. He focused on solving real African financial challenge. He saw that there was a challenge. Banking, how can I make it easy? We need boys who will create solutions, not the ones who will be problems. We don't want you to be the problem we are trying to solve. We want to be the solution that is solving a problem. Some of you, you're a problem at home, problem of screen addiction, problem of immoral act, problem of stubbornness, problem of laziness, problem of irresponsibility. We want to raise kings that solve problem, not kings that create problem. Look for a problem and solve. God created you as a solution provider, not a problem initiator. Why are your parents crying over you? Joshua, go and sweep. David, go and do this. Daniel, what is the problem? Is that your destiny? Is that your purpose? Sons, is that your calling? To struggle to read a book, to struggle to do the needful, to struggle to, what is it? This man looked for a problem and solved it. Long-term thinking, consistency, adaptability, years of repeated efforts, repetition. He adjusted strategies as the business environment evolved. Execution of he prioritized the building system that actually works. Let me tell you, son, people do their best when they are entrepreneurial, which means I'm doing this myself and do not necessarily do for their boss. Most people are doing their best, pushing. Doesn't mean that you cannot do your best for others. But when you bring out that best that God has done in you, what are his success stories? Let's look at it. Today is the African leading business payment infrastructure. Research shows that 8 out of 10 Nigerian payments run on Money Point. That is powerful. Guess what? 6 billion businesses are Money Point platform. What? Top 6 in the Nigerian banking industry. Guess what? Over 14 billion transactions was processed in 2025 alone. Just last year, over 14 billion transactions. and over 500 trillion naira total value of transaction processed in Nigeria. What? Such tenacity, such excellence, such strength, such resilience. What are you known for? What are you creating? We have seen Usain Bolt. We have seen Cosmos Maduka. We have seen Tosi of Morning Point. What will be your own testimony? Kings, there is greatness on the inside of you. There is potential. There is something God has deposited. Some of you cannot access it because of laziness. Discipline. There is a discipline for success. There's some success you can never achieve in life if you're not disciplined. Next slide say, discipline is the strength of character. And character is what guides your life. Discipline is the control of self, which is connected to the control of your future. So you make yourself do what is required in order to see what is desired. What is required of you? To study, to think. What can I create? How can I be a solution provider? How can I not be the one coming to chat, to come and be disturbing people on YouTube, on Zoom, to be saying 6, 7, to be playing? Oh, this thing is ball. What are they saying? How can I be the one that is not saying that? How can I be the one telling other boys, this is what you should do? This is our path. We are looking for boys who will create a solution that a lot of our boys are plunged in pornography. Who will be the one to bring safety on the media? We are counting on you. It was somebody that sat down and taught the right brothers and developed the plane. Carrying hundreds of people flying. Somebody sat. The astronaut that went to the moon, these people sat down to create this. People did. If those people were not disciplined, just anyhow, playing anyhow, social media, looking at bad things, they would have killed the people that went there. Discipline. Can you see them? Attention to detail. Every detail was calculated. And all through the time they were there, people were there observing. When you don't pay the price, your destiny crashes. So many young men have crashed out of destiny. Wasted life. Wasted years. Why are they begging you to read? You don't want to be named in the Hall of Fame? You don't want to walk to the path of greatness? Will anything be said about you in the next 20 years? Can the world also come to a session like this and celebrate you? We are looking for men to celebrate. We are tired of mourning for Saul. There's vacancy in the palace. But the position is for the one in the field like David, who is being trained. How come they came to anoint king? Everybody was at home gisting. Only one was in the field. A lot of boys want to be like those ones at home. Yet you want the throne. It can't work. The throne is for the strong. The throne is for the resilient. The throne is for the knowledgeable. The throne is for the one who understands the system of the palace and is learned in training. David could defeat Goliath because he has dealt with other things in the field. He has dealt with bears. He has turned them out of lions. He has done a lot. He has devoured bear. If he was not in the field training, Goliath would have made a mess of the people of God. A lot of Goliaths are confronting us today on the internet. Oh. Look at this. Look at the school system. All manner, LGBT, trying to change curriculum and decide what people should be. We are looking for Davids now. You are the one that will confront Goliath. But what will you use and confront? Knowledge versus knowledge. Fire for fire. Light versus light. Strength for strength. Strength that can match every darkness. So how will you confront the Goliath if you are just sleeping? Next slide. How will you confront it? How? Without discipline. If David just sat at home, will he get to this place? How do we confront Goliath kings? When we are just lounging at home, you refuse to go to the field to be trained. You refuse to do the work. I was talking to a boy recently, 16 years old. I said, hey, what are you having for breakfast? I said, they are making my food. He said he has never cooked at 16. Shameful. Some of you are teenagers. You can't take care of your space. And you want to rule a nation. You are 10 years old. You can't lay your bed. You're even 8 years old. You can't sweep your room. And you want to take over nations. There's a discipline for success as we close. What do we say? Discipline. doing what is right, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency, self-control, responsibility. Next. Why does it matter? Because discipline helps boys stay focused on their future. It builds confidence, respect, and leadership. We saw that in Cosmos, Innocent Boat, in Mr. Tosi of Money Point. Talent without discipline leads to a waste of potential. Did you see Usain Bolt? He had the potential, height, muscle, advantage, but yet, if he didn't take the courage to build himself, there are people in this world that have more advantage than taller, more muscular, but they can't get there. No discipline. So talent without discipline just leaves a wasteful potential. You waste your potential. And discipline separates dreamers from achievers. Are you just dreaming or are you achieving? What are your goals and discipline? Goals are important, but discipline is more important, because without discipline, goals and vision become mere wishes that will never come to pass. God gives direction, but discipline keeps you moving. As I close, what are the areas you need discipline as a boy? In your academics and learning, in your friendship and relationship. You can't keep saying, I want to get to the top, and you have a boy in your class who's always talking about what to watch dirty things, how to change your mother's password, how to watch be on game when nobody is watching, how to watch it under the duvet and cover and hide it, how to sneak into your parents' room, how to take money. You can't be going somewhere and have such people around you who talk dirty, who don't have value for God. Oh, you are too spiritual. These African people, you people are just naive. Oh, you can talk to your parents anyhow. Who are they? If you don't have discipline in your friendship and relationship, you can't build anything solid. Discipline in your social media and entertainment. Discipline in your words, attitude, and action. We still have boys that walk out on their parents. That is a curse from the Lord. Let me say, such people cannot live long. Their life is cut short. Their life is cut short. Their sun set at midday. You can't build anything sustainable without tenacity, without sitting down. Some of you, after this meeting, you sit down and think, speak to yourself, put your life in order. Ask yourself, if somebody can grow from poverty, at age 4, father died, serving, working, under apprenticeship, mentorship, and accountability, and can become a global name with net worth in billions dollars. What are you doing? What stops you? What is stopping you? Tell me. Why do we have boys who are losing out of destiny? Why do we see results and boys are lagging behind, struggling to lead, not getting to the front? All want to be on game for 24/7. You can spend 10 hours playing game, but 30 minutes into book is boring. It just shows where your heart is. You can be on 10 hours on football, but 2 hours on the session. You're already moving and it just shows where your heart is. Can you take the nations like that? And don't tell me some people are born like that. It's what you build. Discipline, it doesn't happen by impartation. It's a practice you must cultivate. You need spiritual and moral discipline. Some people are forgetting God because they are in UK. You are in Canada. Oh, God. God. And on Sunday morning, you go and play football. When it's time for church service, that's when you go for football. No respect or reference for God. Oh, in where we are, everything we want is here. It's Africans that are praying. You've not seen. You can't get anywhere without God in your life. And in closing, how do you build discipline? You must set clear goals. Can you remember Cosmos Maduka, what he wrote on his wall? At 19, he wants to get married. At 25, he wants to do what? To buy a car. And at 25, he wants to be a millionaire. Can you remember that? Powerful lessons as we close. Can you remember what he wrote on his wall? I'm trying to get it. Powerful. Okay. They want to get married at 19, get a car at 23, and be a millionaire at 25. That's what I say. Set clear goals. What is the goal for your life? Your goal for your life is to win, to be the best gamer in your school, to have PS10. No clarity, no tenacity. Some of you don't have anything. You're not thinking of the future. Now. What is your goal? Somebody created a light bulb. Somebody tried over 900 times until he got it right. Why are you whining at 2 fails? Why are you whining? Go for the mass again. Go. If somebody gave you light and is whining as you did, we will have light today. You are enjoying the benefit of another person's sweat, but you don't want the world to drink from your well. That is wickedness. God has given you so much, yet the world is hungry, the world is thirsty, and you are hoarding your light. You are hoarding your grace. You are hoarding what God has given you. Some of you, that thing have been covered under the bushel of pornography, under the bushel of stubbornness, under the bushel of laziness, irresponsibility. It hides your light. It cages you until you choose to break out. Until you are tired of that yoke, it can be broken from your neck. When will you get tired of irresponsibility? When will you get tired of being spoken to over and over again? Let this day be a turning point. Set clear goals. Create a daily routine. Learn to say no to distraction. Surround yourself with people of positive influence. Stay accountable to mentors and parents. Refuse laziness and excuses. Protect your future with choices that push you into greatness. Stay focused on your goal and become the kind of man that your generation needs. I'm closing with this. Become the kind of man your generation needs. The earnest expectation of the righteous is for the manifestation of the sons of God, which means the world is yearning. When will this man come and save us? When will this boy arise and be a solution? When will Kingsley arise? When will Joel arise? When will John arise? There's a yearning the world is having for you. Will the world suffer for your negligence? Let this be a turning point. How many years was the lad that gave the loaf of bread and fishes that fed thousands? Just like that lad, you carried the bread to the nations. How old was he? We have suicide bombers in the world. 9 years old. Put the bomb. Go and bomb and hundreds of people are dead. What did they tell them? And you with your whole light, you are hiding it under a bushel. The world is waiting for you. Will you rise up today to say no? Enough of mediocrity. Who told you can't be the best in your school? Why LGBT is taking over in your school? Why are you not the leader in your school? Enter into the position of leadership. Position yourself to lead. I can't forget one of my mentees who said in his class every time, end of year party, they are singing daddy song. That year he said, I volunteer myself to be the DJ. He brought his own songs. He sat at the place of influence and decided what happened. You are quiet. Oh, let them not arrest me. Who will arrest you for speaking for the truth? If you keep pushing because good men are quiet, why is it becoming as if the darkness has more voice than us? God forbid, we can never be a silent majority. It's time to arise and build. And that is the call to International Boys Conference 2026. God say it's a year of perfection. He said he will restore after you have suffered for a while. After this thing going on in the world, he will restore you. He will establish you. This is your moment of establishment. This is your moment of reformation. Look at me here, a living witness. And I lie not. Life is a testimony. Build. Deny myself pleasures just to be here standing before you. As a teenager, as a boy, follow the Lord fervently. Married undefiled in the midst of the pressure. Stood, read books. As a teenager before I went to high school, waiting for my admission, I was working. Before I got to school, I bought over 50 books with my money reading. Over 20 different translations of the Bible, hard copies with my own money. Learning, building, equipping. Why can't you be? Look at the rot among men, husbands and fathers. Indisciplined, irresponsible, entitled, broken men. It's a vicious circle. How are we going to have husbands and fathers tomorrow? You are the one that will make a difference. But it can't happen in your laziness and irresponsibility. Dangling around everywhere without purpose and vision. enough is enough. This meeting is a turning point for you. And I'm closing with these quotes. And the value of self-discipline is inevitable. What you don't have, you can't sustain. You can't prepare. We can't prepare you for the future. Sorry, we can't prepare for you. We can only prepare you for the future. We can only prepare for what is ahead. We cannot prepare what is ahead for you. We can only bid you to face what is ahead. And guess what? The busier you are, the farther you are from the evil vices of the day. Get busy with your life and destiny. Get busy. Thank you for sharing. Get busy. Get busy. Keep deepening. Thank you, media, for sharing. Keep deepening. Keep shining. Keep becoming. I pray for you today. Everybody listening to me, raise your hand where you are, and I speak God's grace over you. Whatever has made your life to be covered with a bushel, whatever has kept you under the yoke of darkness, whatever has kept you under, whatever has made men in the world to be unheard, unseen, unknown, whatever has stolen the mandate of men all over the world, whatever has kept you down, whatever has kept you lazy, unproductive, irresponsible, I stand today as a priest and as an authority over your life, and I say that shackle, those chains are broken. You are set free. You are rising up from that limitation, from that hindrance, from that thing that has kept you under and below. You are stepping up to become the man God has called you to be. I see giants arising from this conference. I see the restoration of dignity of manhood. I see the restoration of mantles over the life of men all over the world. I see the restoration of our mandate of leadership for men. That Pharaoh, that Goliath that is killing, destroying men, oh God, I pray that you arise from that darkness and become. I stand as a priest and I break the siege of darkness over the male seed. The male seed is rising up. We are authorities. We are leaders. We are being called. We are being positioned. No longer will you be under. No longer will you be unknown, unheard, unseen. Your voice shall be heard. Your tongue is loose for the king. Your tongue is loose to speak over the nations. You can't be small. You can't be under. Whatever has broken men, fathers in the world, that will not be your story. You can't be battered. You can't be promiscuous. You can't end in drug rehabilitation home. You can't end as a homosexual. That is not the purpose of God. I speak peace into your destiny. Every boy under the sound of my voice, you can't be a non-entity. You will end as a wonder to your world and destiny. You will end as a light carrier, as a burden bearer that will carry the message of the king to the nations. No nation will stop you. I declare over you, arise and shine, for your light has come and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. Cyrus, arise and build, arise and build. You have been given the authority to break the bounds of wickedness over the kings. You are blessed, and your generation shall call you blessed. So arise. At the end of this meeting, go and write your action points. What will I begin to do differently? How will I start waking up early? What books should I begin to read? What friends should I leave immediately? What do I want to become in the next 10 years? How do I want to be a voice that nations, conferences be talking about me, like Maduka, like Tosi, like Osembot? Make that strong tonight and keep pushing and living until you become that. Love you all so dearly. And thank you for joining us. This is just the first session. There are a lot of your friends that are not here. We have another person coming up for the second session for today, and that will be the last one. Coach David will share his story. You will be so blessed. If you have people that have not joined, let them join. Take a cup of water, take something, and come back with your notes, with your journals, and we're going to continue. When we are done, Coach David, tomorrow we'll come back. Tomorrow afternoon, tell your parents. Parent session will be here 3 p.m. West African time, 4 p.m. only fathers. So 3 p.m. mothers and fathers. Tell your parents now that they must be in that session tomorrow. Anywhere your father is, anywhere in the world, tell him to join live tomorrow for that. And after that, we'll come back in the evening for 2 more sessions. And on Saturday, over 3,000 must be gathered in physical attendance. All of you also be connected around the world with mind-blowingness. Don't miss any session for anything. Don't. If there's any reason why you're not around, watch replay. I hope to hear from you. We love you so dearly, and we pray that God bless you. So, we'll session. Next speaker will coming up shortly. Thank you for having us.
Hello everyone, my name is Hello everyone, my name is Giovanni. Right before I came to the academy, I used to have a lot of challenges in my life as a boy, and it'd be really stressful at some points. But as I came to the Boys Academy, it has really done a lot for me. And I'm very happy that my mom enrolled me here, although all she's doing for me. It has changed a lot in my life and made me a better person in all I endeavor in. But after joining the academy, it really changed me. It has made me a better person, made me understand my purpose and my destiny in life and how to achieve it. It has also shown me away from any evil that may disrupt my focus in achieving those goals and desires for the future. Anybody that may be watching this video, I hope you enroll your sons in this academy for you make you a better person. Thank you.
My name is Brian, and before joining Polycentric Academy, I did not really know how to take responsibilities. There's some stuff I couldn't do. I was not independent and responsible. After joining Leadership Academy, I became more responsible. I started taking up tasks in my school, at home. I became the FC president of my school and the sports prefect. And since then, people have been handing me responsibilities and they've been sure that I can carry them out.
My name is Renan, and I'm a living testimony of what Boys Leadership Academy has done to me. Before I joined the academy, actually, I was very, very temperamental, fighting my siblings, just getting angry easily. But then when my mom enrolled me for the first level 1, we had the 7 days no shouting challenge. So I participated in that, and I figured out that it turned my life around. I started feeling a sense of peace personally. I didn't like trouble. I wasn't feeling anger anymore. I became closer with my siblings. We laugh more now in the house. With my parents, I'm more closer to them. I can share more stuff with them. We're closer as a family now. And even in school, it's helping me be more popular among teachers as a good student, a counselor, respectful student, and it's practically opening doors for me in school. I even won the best behavior award once, and teachers love me. Yes, their eyes are on me, but still, it's just perfect. School is fine for me. Teachers there to support me, and there's some privileges that I have that other people don't in my school, and that's because of my calm and respectful nature. For me, this is the best mentorship program you should go for. Boys Leadership Academy has really, really helped me and changed me.
Hello everyone.
Welcome back. Let me do a very practical, big, mighty salute to the king of boys. I'm sure you had an amazing time listening to Coach Ebuka. I told you that when you hear the man with the vision, something in you will shift. So Coach Ebuka said, there is vacancy in the palace, but only those who are disciplined will gain access there. Do you know the sweetest one I had? I wrote it. I was writing. You think you're the only one that came to conference? Coach Ebuka said the world is a shopping mall. Come on now. He said you can buy anything as long as you can pay. And what's the price you pay? The price is discipline. Thank you so much, the king of boys. I want to hear you again. Every day, every time, every day and every time. And yes, I know you were wondering, what is Boys Leadership Academy? What are they talking about? Calm down and just listen. Boys Leadership Academy is a learning hub for boys. In fact, we like to call Boys Leadership Academy a boys-only zone with only one girl present, my humble self. Yes, it is a learning hub for boys. We meet in different packages and programs for boys, and our programs run for boys ages 5 to 19. So if you're within this age range, you are supposed to be in Boys Leadership Academy. Can I tell you something? In 2026 alone, Boys Leadership Academy mentorship system, which we call the King's Academy, has almost 3,000 boys. Help me open your eyes and say, yes. 3,000 boys meet every Saturday from January to December where they are learning. You see these things you heard from Chebuka? If you want more, come to Boys Leadership Academy. We run camps in Nigeria and across different countries around the world. We run in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Jos. And we are also going to Canada, UK, and US with Australia and Ghana in view. I know you want to come. I know you're already telling your mommy. I know you already poke. If your mom or your dad is close to you, poke them. Say, I want to join Boys Leadership Academy. We will share more details as this program goes on. Make sure you listen carefully so that you don't miss the details. I can't wait to see you in Boys Leadership Academy. You will keep hearing more. Don't worry. All right, we are not done. We are not done. We are going to take another speaker. But before we take the speaker, I'm sure the media has something they would like us to listen to. After that, we will take the next speaker. This next speaker, every time he talks, I almost jump off my seat. I'm not going to tell you again. Let's hear the media do what they want to do, and then we come back to the next speaker. Media, please.
Humanitarian, speaker, and transformational leader, founder of the David Fallarami Foundation, and executive director of the Leaf Free Renewal Center, passionate about youth development and mental health advocacy, with a focus on substance abuse prevention and recovery, a trained economist, psychologist, counselor, and life coach, dedicated to helping young people find healing and purpose. Certified by global institutions and the John Maxwell team, TEDx speaker, and recognized voice in addiction recovery, training youths, leaders, schools, and organizations across nations, widely known as the Peculiar Man, passionate about transformation, humanity, and positive change, happily married to Mrs. Nena Temi Fallarami, and your union is blessed with 3 beautiful daughters. Please welcome Coach David for Laramie.
I'm clapping and welcoming Coach David for Laramie in the building. This is someone who has an experience that everybody wants to listen to. Coach David, it's good to have you again at the International Boys Conference. Is it for the sixth or seventh time?
For the sixth,
Is it
for
for
the
the
sixth
sixth
time.
or
For
seventh?
the sixth
For the
time. Thank
sixth
you very
time.
much.
Wow.
Yes.
For the fifth time, and it shall continue.
Yes,
Thank
we
you
shall.
so much for being here, sir. Your
Thank you
boys
very
are
much.
ready.
Thank you
And we
very
look
much.
forward to having an exciting time with you.
Thank you
You
very
have the
much,
floor.
Auntie Ruthie. Thank you very much to my brother, Coach Ebuka. Let me start by saying that was a powerful, powerful, powerful session. Look at my notes. Look at my notes. Powerful, powerful session on discipline. While he was talking, I was saying, aha, aha. These are some of the things I wish I learned when I was much younger. I want to say we are blessed to have you in our generation, Coach Ebuka. I celebrate the grace of God upon your life. It will interest you to know that I am also one of your students. Yes, there's no time I come to sleep in your house that I don't call my wife and say, look at what Coach Ebuka did. Let us implement it in our home. And it always yields brilliant results. I celebrate God's grace upon your life. And I want to thank you, Auntie Ruth, for being the perfect, partner in this journey of impact. God bless you both. Yes, so let's get quickly into what we have for today. The session that had just concluded on discipline was very powerful. And Coach Ebota talked about Cosmos, talked about Usain Bolt, talked about Oluwatosin, the money point guy. Permit me to say with all humility that Coach Ebuka is up there in that list. Yes, it's his type of person that will make him not to add himself because of how humble he is. But I tell you for sure, for somebody that knows him a little bit, tiny little bit, that he's one of the most disciplined persons that I know. He is one of the most disciplined persons that I know. Disciplined in what he eats, disciplined in what he wears, disciplined in what comes out of his mouth, his speech. Everything about him talks about discipline. So when he's teaching us on discipline, he's speaking from a place of personal knowledge. Thank you very much, sir. We honor you and we honor God's grace upon your life. Yes, so let's go into what we have for today. Crown under pressure, handling temptation, peer pressure, and emotions. I know we have boys from all over the world. I've seen people say they are from US, from UK, from Ireland. Great. We thank God for that. Now I need you to pay absolute attention for the next 30 to 40 minutes. If your notebooks are with you, please jot. We don't have slides. I don't have slides for this teaching. Listen attentively and pay attention. Good. The theme for our conference is Reformation. It has always been Reformation. But then today we're talking about temptations, peer pressure, and emotions. All of these which are very peculiar to young boys. Listen, pressure does not create character. Pressure reveals character. Pressure does not create character. What it does is it reveals character. The question is, what is your character? What is inside of you? When you are pressured to do something, if you yield to that pressure, it shows what you already have inside of you. You don't prepare for a battle on the battlefield. You prepare for a battle way before the battle begins. So what have you equipped yourself with on the inside that is going to come forth when the pressure starts? Because the pressure will come. Auntie Ruth talked about my experiences. I struggled with 7 years of chronic addiction, a journey that nearly cost me my life. Now, when you think about it, at the end of the day, yes, I was pressured. People say, David, why don't you smoke? David, why don't you drink? David, why don't you do this? David, why don't you do that? I gave into that pressure because I lacked discipline. Simple. We have to tell ourselves the truth. I buckled under that pressure because I lacked discipline. I had not equipped myself with the, discipline, the skill of discipline, the skill to say no when I should, and when it mattered the most, I fell. So pressure does not create character. People say it's because I was pressured, I become like this. It's a lie. You became like that because you didn't have it inside of you. You were not equipped enough to withstand that pressure. Young boys, you are called kings. Kings you are. But I want to tell you that every crown is tested before it is won. Before a crown is handed over to you, you must be tested. You must go through a test to know whether that crown is fit for your head. Any boy that cannot stand pressure today cannot carry purpose tomorrow. If you cannot stand pressure today, you cannot stand or you cannot carry purpose tomorrow. We talk a lot about reformation. Last year, I emphasized deeply saying that reformation is for boys who are willing to be positive. You positively impact others, then you are a reformed boy. Reformation is not the absence of peer pressure. It is the power to remain righteous under pressure. That's what reformation is. Stop praying that you're not going to get pressured. As a matter of fact, pray that the pressure should come, and then you can remain standing firm after the pressure. Then indeed you are a reformed boy. We are living in one of the most pressured generations in history. Never before has boys had access to so much information, temptation, influence, distraction, comparison, emotional confusion, all at once. I speak to young boys, of course, not as much as my brother and his wife do, but in my own little capacity, I speak with young boys and I hear what they are going through. So much information at the same time, information overload, temptation, left, right, and center, influence from the media, from their family members, from friends, distraction of every kind, comparison. My own is bigger than your own. My own is more than your own. I have more likes than you. I have more followers than you. Then emotional confusion that is brought upon them by a confused generation. All at once. Today's boys are under pressure to fit in, to look a certain way. If you don't look this way, if your shoulders are not broad, if you don't have six packs, if you don't look a certain way, it's a problem. Today, the boys of today are pressured to be sexually active. When we know that God's standard remains sure that you should not be sexually active until you are married. And after you get married, you remain sexually active to your God-ordained spouse. Today's boys are pressured to act tough even when they are going through pain inside. Pressure to hide their emotions. Pressure to become successful quickly. And that is what is giving rise to internet fraud, HK, and all the other things I say. And that is why in the beginning I said, if it's not inside of you, if you don't have integrity, if you don't have honesty, your excuse will be that you were pressured to do Yahoo Yahoo. No, it's not the pressure that made you do Yahoo Yahoo. It's the lack of honesty, the lack of integrity inside of you that made you to do it. Pressure to become successful quickly. School na scam. University na scam. I was speaking with one of my family members the other time. I said, there's a young man who has worked for me for years. I can't make him manager because he didn't bring himself to go to school, even though he's one of my longest serving staff. And then I said, indeed, school no be scam, because little things that he should know, he doesn't know, and he doesn't know how to do. Pressure to compromise our values for acceptance. You want to fit in. You want to belong. You want to be accepted. There's pressure online. There's pressure offline. There's pressure from friends. Pressure from social media. There's pressure from culture. Pressure from secret temptation. Pressure from family members. Pressure from our mothers. Everybody. Pressure. Come on. We need to give the boys a break. But my question is to you today. Will this pressure break you, or will this pressure crown you? Will the pressure break you, or will the pressure crown you? I'll give you an example of how pressure led to the crowning of a young man. Reformation. I love it. Whenever I hear reformation has come, reformation is here. Reformation means a change of mindset. Look, don't leave this conference if your mindset remains the same. I'm talking to boys all over the world. Don't leave this conference if your mindset remains the same. Reformation is a rebuilding of character. Reformation is a return to God's standard. No matter how far you have gone on the wrong path, if you choose to return, make a U-turn, then reformation has started and a crown is waiting for you. Become different from the corrupt system around you. Don't follow people to do yahoo yahoo. Don't follow people to take hard drugs. Don't follow people to drink. Reformation is a meal for kings. It's for kings. And the Bible says in Proverbs 31 verse 4, it is not for kings, O Lemuel, to drink. It is not for kings to consume alcohol, strong drink. Other people can be doing it. Your father can be doing it. Your mother can be doing it. But when you remember that you are a reformed king, a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar boy, called forth to show the praises of he who has drawn you out of the darkness into the lamplight, then you remember that alcohol is not for you. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. You will not defile it with alcohol. Listen, a reformed boy doesn't mean you are pressure free. I've been hammering on this. I need you to understand that reformation does not take pressure out of you. A reformed boy is pressure proof. There's a difference. A reformed boy is not pressure free. A reformed boy is pressure proof. The world says everybody is doing it. Everybody is doing it. So why can't I do it? The reformed boy says, even if everybody is doing it, I shall not do it. The reformed boy says, if everybody is losing their crown, I will keep my crown. We don't have a lot of time. I'd like to share with you one of my favorite stories in the Bible. I know we have people from all over the world, but please follow me. The story comes from the book of Genesis chapter 39. It talks about Joseph and Potiphar's wife. Joseph is one of the greatest examples of a young man who carried his crown under pressure. Listen, some of you say, they sent me to boarding school, so the pressure was too much. Joseph was far from home. Joseph was far from home. Kilometers away from his home. So some of you say, sibling rivalry. My mommy likes my daddy more. My mommy likes my other brother more. He likes John more than me. He likes Tosi more than me. Listen, Joseph's brother sold him to slavery. They sold him. Sold him. Sold him. So there was no brother. There was no sister. Some of you say, but I'm too young. That was why I gave into the pressure. The Bible records that Joseph was around 17 years old when he was sold into slavery. At the time he had this incident with Potiphar's wife, he was between 17 and 20. Young, misunderstood, unprotected, tempted repeatedly. Even though the Bible records that in the Bible, this is recorded in chapter 39, that this was the first time it happened, something tells me that it must have happened before. Tempted. A slave boy, tempted by his master's wife. The same way some of you are tempted. Temptation is everywhere. Do you think Coach Ebuka doesn't face temptation? Temptation is everywhere. To come and smoke, come and drink, come and use drugs. You give in to temptation, you lose your crown. You lose your crown. You are not fit to be called the king again. If Joseph agreed to do what he was asked to do by Potiphar's wife, nobody would have known. Nobody would have caught him. Nobody would have exposed him, because Potiphar's wife would not be able to expose him so that she doesn't lose her place in Potiphar's house. Yet, Joseph refused. Joseph refused. Joseph refused. I want every boy, where he's sitting down right now, write it in your notebook. Write, I will refuse. Just write it like that. I will refuse. I will refuse. I don't know what the temptation can be. I don't know what level of temptation you are going through. I want you to write it down. I will refuse. I give you 5 more seconds. I will refuse. Now, the question is why? Why will you refuse? Because Joseph understood something very powerful. Now, I want you to write this down. A moment of pleasure is never worth a lifetime of purpose. A moment, a temporal moment of pleasure, that temporal moment of smoking, that temporal moment of fornication, that temporal moment of masturbation, that temporal moment of cheating in an exam, it is never worth a lifetime of purpose. Genesis 39 verse 9. How then can I sin and do this wickedness against God? Oh, how can I do this great wickedness against God? How can I do this great wickedness against God? We live in a generation where the fear of God has disappeared from the hearts of young boys. In this season of reformation, put your hands up and ask God to put the fear of Him back inside of you. Back inside of you. Satan has so watered down the fear of God in the lives of young people through various means, social media, print media, the movies that are being shown, the songs we are listening to now, telling people that church is not important, and then young people are not going to church anymore, and gradually the fear of God is leaving our hearts. Reformation is a revival. It's a revival. We're in the season of revival, where young boys should have their hearts panting after God afresh. Panting after God afresh. He did not say, how can I sin and do this wickedness against Potiphar? He did not say, how can, he did not say, what if the society will judge me? He did not say, what if people will criticize me? He said, why will I do this wickedness against God? You are in Reformation 2025. Ask God to send a fire of revival into your heart and let His fear come inside of you again. Let His fear come inside of you again. Joseph understood that integrity is who you are when nobody is watching. Who are you when nobody is watching? I ask every boy here today, who are you when nobody is watching? When nobody is watching, is that when you sneak downstairs to drink a little drink from the bar in your house? When your parents are not around, is that when you turn off the CCTV and you invite a girl into your room when you know you shouldn't do that? Who are you when nobody is watching? And listen, because Joseph survived that pressure, God eventually crowned him. God eventually crowned him. The same pressure that could have destroyed Joseph became the pathway to his throne. The same pressure that should have destroyed Joseph became the pathway to his throne, became the pathway to his throne, became the path to his glorious destiny. Stop running away from pressure. Embrace pressure. It is your examination that leads you to your manifestation. And eventually you get the price of your crown. That is the message for every boy here today. If my time finishes, I stop here. The pressure that could have destroyed Joseph became the pathway to his throne. Embrace pressure. Embrace it. It's an examination. After all, God is not going to give you anything that is above what you can handle. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your examination. Pressure is not your enemy. It's your examination. Understanding temptation. Very quickly, temptation is not proof that you are weak. Yielding into temptation is proof that you are not prepared. You're not prepared enough. Temptation doesn't mean you are weak. When you fall for that temptation, it means you haven't prepared well enough. I said it in the beginning, you don't prepare for war on the battlefield. You prepare for war. Now we're having reformation. You should be preparing for the pressure that is coming in front of you. Many boys think if I'm tempted, I'm a bad person. Oh, temptation itself is not a sin. Even Jesus was tempted. But that was examination for him. If you are the Son of God, turn this stone into bread. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of the Lord. So that is an examination that he passed. And that was what led him to being crowned. The real issue is not whether temptation comes. The real issue is whether temptation controls you. I run a rehabilitation center by the grace of God. I have never been angry with anybody who got tempted. We call it triggers. When I get upset is when you allow the temptation to control you. And boys face many types of temptations today. Sexual temptation, that's one of it. Sexual temptation. This is one of the greatest pressures that our boys are facing globally. We have people from US, Ghana, Canada, everywhere here. All of us will agree. We live in a hyper-sexualized world. Everywhere you turn, there's breast, there's breast, everywhere. Even in the church, people dress indecently in the church. And right now, the females are willing to throw it at us, the young boys, for free. Gonna be days it has to be paid for. Hyper-sexualized world. Pornography everywhere. Something as simple as a TV commercial, they use half-naked women to advertise. Sexual content on social media. Sometimes you are genuinely browsing something important and something just pops up that wants to destroy your mind. Explicit music, talking about genitals, talking about sexual urges, etc. Hookup culture, pressure to lose virginity, pressure to prove masculinity through immorality. So they now tell you that if you are a real man, you should have sex. That's a lie. Many boys are secretly battling porn addiction, lust, masturbation, sexting, hidden immoral relationships. The world says if it feels good, you should do it. But God says, guard your purity. Guard your purity, because your body is a temple. Guard your purity. Listen, what feels like entertainment today will eventually enslave you tomorrow. What feels like entertainment today? Pornography, masturbation, sexting. It will eventually enslave you tomorrow. Samson lost his strength through uncontrolled desire. David nearly lost his kingdom through lust. Solomon lost his spiritual focus through compromise. Many of you are gifted. Coach Ebuka has told me about some of the great things some of you have done. Some of you are currently doing. I see it. I listen to it. Listen, but a gifted boy without self-control becomes a danger to himself. A gifted boy without self-control becomes a danger to himself. A gifted boy, a genius boy with lack of self-control becomes a danger to himself. I learned very quickly that once you are gifted, you attract the ladies. Aha! They run after you. Let me tell you that secret now. So prepare yourself for that. Prepare yourself for self-control, because they will flock after you. Oh, he's a genius in Java. He's a genius in cybersecurity. He's a genius in this. The women will run after you. Then your gift will now become a problem if you don't have self-control. How to handle sexual temptation? Number one, run early. Run, flee. See, Joseph fled. He did not negotiate. Some temptations are not defeated by prayer. They are defeated by distance. There are times that it's not time to pray. It's not time to kabash. I know you know how to speak in tongues. There are times that you run. You leave your clothes, you leave your phone, and you run. Do not stay in environments that weaken your conviction. No. Do not stay in environments that weaken your convictions. So number one, run early. Number two, guard your eyes. What enters your eyes enters your heart. Guard your eyes. What do you watch? Social media is not neutral. Watch what you watch shapes what you desire. It is small. Satan is so tricky, but his skill has not changed from time memorial. It is the same thing. He just dropped it small. So today you're on social media, you see a lady that is half dressed. You don't rebuke it and stop it immediately. Then tomorrow you see two, and that's how it drops. Watch what you watch. Write it down. Watch what you watch. Number three, stay accountable. Secrets grow in darkness. Healing grows in honesty and accountability. Stay accountable. If you are here around the world, you are not registered in the Boys Leadership Academy, make sure that you do that. Tell your parents to make sure that they enroll you. Tell your parents to make sure that they enroll you. You need that accountability system. In the world of today that is interconnected and very confusing, you need an accountability system. And time has proven, see, only fools doubt proves, that as a young boy, this is the family you belong to. This is the family where you should be. The Boys Leadership Academy. We have testimonies from around the world of the great and mighty things that boys who have submitted themselves to this system are experiencing. Find your mentors in Coach Ebuka and Coach Ruth. I just told you that at my age, I still learn from them. My wife is probably watching this. So is my mom and one or two other members of my family. I see things that he does, Coach Ebuka does, and I pick up my phone and I call my wife. I say, this is what my brother is doing. Let us implement it. And we see results. Now, not to talk of you as young boys, I beg you in God's name, remain accountable. If you have not registered for the Boys Leadership Academy, go and disturb your parents. The way you disturb them for PS5 and for holiday, disturb them until you are registered. And number 4, feed your spirit. Feed your spirit. I have a few more minutes, but I'll try to rush. A starved spirit cannot fight a strong temptation. Remember, I said temptation is normal. Now, to fight temptation and to win temptation, the spirit must be strong enough. How do you feed your spirit? Through prayers, through scripture, through worship, through Christian community. Christian community. Who are the people you have surrounded yourself with? So that's about temptation. We'll talk about peer pressure. I will talk about emotional, control and all of that, and we'll close. Peer pressure. I always used to say, if you need to lose your values because you want to keep your friends, then those friends are too expensive. Allow them go. Did you hear me? If you need to lose your values in order to keep your friends, then those friends have become too expensive. Allow them go. Peer pressure. The desire to belong is powerful because nobody wants to feel alone. Many boys destroyed their future simply because they wanted acceptance. Some of us started using drugs because we had bad friends. Some have joined gangs because of friends. Some, the first pornography they watched, it was a friend that showed them. Some have started vaping with disastrous effects because of friends. Some have mocked your faith in God because of friends. Some have been bullied because of friends. Some are afraid to show their faith. When the Bible says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of God. Hidden. They have hidden their faith because they are afraid of what their friends will say. Never let people who are lost decide the direction of your life. Never let people who are lost decide the direction of your life. Daniel faced peer pressure in Babylon, right? Are you listening? Hold it. Daniel chapter 3. Read everything when you have the time. Everybody was eating the king's food. Daniel refused. In chapter 1, verse 8, Daniel said, and Daniel proposed in his heart. The Bible said that he will not defile himself with a portion of the king's food or the wines with which the eunuch served. Even though others were eating it, Daniel refused. In chapter 3, verse 15 to 18, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were forced to bow down. They faced the pressure. Why? Every other person bowed. You might be in school, everybody is smoking, be the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, go in your class and say, no, I will not. Everybody might be watching pornography, be the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in your class and say, no, I will not. Everybody is masturbating. Everybody is sexting. Everybody is gaming uncontrollably. Put your hand on your chest today and say, I have proposed in my heart that I will not defile myself with a portion of the king's meat. I will not defile myself with alcohol. I will not defile myself with vaping. I will not defile myself with marijuana. I will not defile myself with pornography and lust and masturbation. In chapter 3, in chapter 3 of Daniel, everybody was bowing down to the king's image. But those young men stood their grounds. No, they will not. Listen, the majority is not always right. The majority is not always right. The majority is not always right. A 14-year-old boy was brought to our rehabilitation center. He has started going mad. We call it schizophrenia in our line of work. It is simply madness. He couldn't control himself again because he had been taking morphines that were infused with marijuana. Listen, when we went to their school, in his class, there are 25. We ran a test. 19 of them were positive. 19 of them were on the verge of going mad. Only 6 of them stood like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and said, no, we're not going to do it. The majority is not always right. Just because many people are doing it doesn't mean it is right. Dangerous peer pressure. When you start seeing yourself as somebody who wants to always fit in, you hide your convictions, you feel guilty after hanging out, your values keep reducing, you fear rejection more than disobedience to God. Write that down. When you start to fear rejection more than disobedience to God, you need help. You should stand on the rooftop and cry out for help. You fear rejection from your peers more than disobedience to God. There's a big problem. Quickly, how do we handle peer pressure? Number one, know who you are. Identity reduces insecurity. Too many of us have an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. That is why I say be plugged into the Boys Leadership Academy. Read all of the resources that are available to you. Participate in all of the classes and the lectures. A boy who knows his identity will never beg for validation. No. Will never. When you know your worth, you stop auditioning for acceptance. How can you, a king, a mighty man, be begging for acceptance? You are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are called. You are valuable. Yet you are begging. So know who you are, number one. So I want everyone to write down. It's an assignment. Who am I? Before tomorrow's session, write down, who am I? What are my values? What is my plan? What is my purpose on earth? Number two, how to handle peer pressure. Choose your friends wisely. Your relationship shapes your future. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You do not become strong by surrounding yourself with weakness. You have weak people around you, you fall. Find friends who challenge you positively, respect your faith, push you towards your purpose, correct you in love. Number three, learn to say no. Now I'm beginning to rush because of my time. Learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. We talked about this at the hackathon. Some of you were there. You do not need to explain your no. No is no. Bye-bye. The ability to say no is a sign of maturity. And number four, be willing to stand alone. Be willing to stand alone. Sometimes obedience will be lonely because you are the only one obeying, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But standing alone with God is better than fitting in with others for destruction. You say, he that walks with the wise shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Where do you prefer? To walk with a few wise people or with the majority of fools that are heading for destruction? And then finally, emotional pressure. Strong boys are not boys without emotions. Strong boys are boys who know how to manage their emotions. The society has lied to us that boys don't have emotions. That is a lie. What strong boys do is learn how to manage their emotions, learn how to name their emotions, learn how to tame their emotions. One dangerous lie that society tells boys is that real men don't cry. Me, I cry. I cry very well. And when I finish crying, I come out stronger to face the world. Real men hide emotions. Real men suppress pain. That's a lie. That is even dangerous. And because of that, many boys struggle silently with anger, with loneliness, with depression. I see them all the time with anxiety, with fear, with rejection, with heartbreak. When they serve you breakfast, hot breakfast, and then because you want to be a man, you don't want to talk to anybody about it, but the thing is paining you inside. With family wounds, some of us are from broken homes. I speak to some of us. Some of us, identity confusion. Some boys smile publicly while crying inside privately. But listen, I'm saying it again. Suppression is not strength. Buried emotions do not disappear. They eventually explode. Even Jesus cried. Even Jesus expressed his emotions. John 11:35. Jesus wept. He felt sorrow. He felt pain. The issue is not whether emotions exist. The issue is whether emotions control our decisions. Feelings are real, but feelings are terrible leaders. Our feelings should not lead us. Some of the emotional dangers boys face: anger. Many boys use anger to hide pain, and sometimes you see it leads to drug use, etc. Remember Cain in the Bible, uncontrolled emotion made him to kill his brother. Comparison. Social media creates constant comparison. People start to compare your looks, your wealth, your followers, your achievements, etc. Boys struggle with loneliness. Some boys that are listening to me believes nobody understands them. Emotional impulsiveness. How do we handle emotions? Number one, talk to God honestly. Prayer is not a performance, prayer is honesty. David poured out his emotions before God, and then he found solution. Number two, find safe people. Again, an accountability system. Plug yourself into groups that benefit you. Every boy needs mentors, like Coach Ebuka and Coach Ruth. Every boy needs fathers, like Coach Ebuka. Every boy needs trusted leaders. Every boy needs wise friends so that they're not destroyed in the companion of fools. Learn self-control. Self-control is one of the greatest aspects of maturity. Power without control becomes destruction. Yes, power without control becomes destruction. Learn self-control and then renew your mind. Renew your mind. Your thoughts shape your emotions. So it's very important that you renew your mind on a daily basis. On a daily basis. And now, in closing, the power of reformation. Listen to everyone that is following us today. God is not looking for perfect boys. He's looking for surrendered boys. God is not looking for perfect boys. He's looking for surrendered boys. Reformation starts from within. It starts internally. God wants to reform your mind. God wants to reform your habits. God wants to reform your desires. God wants to reform your friendships. God wants to reform your decisions. God wants to reform your identity. Romans chapter 12, verse 2, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed through the renewing of your mind. Your renewing of your mind is what gives birth to reformation. The renewing of your mind should be a daily thing. Every morning, make sure you renew your mind. You don't have to be like others. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were not like others. You don't have to be like others. Daniel was not like others. You don't have to be like others. Coach Ebuka was not or is not like others. The world wants conformity, wants you to follow what others are doing. What God wants is transformation that leads to reformation. A reformed boy has convictions. A reformed boy has discipline. A reformed boy has self-control. A reformed boy has courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. You can be afraid, but you still do it. You still do what is right. Sometimes everybody's against you for doing what is right, but the courage inside of you will say no, even in the fear that all of you are putting inside of me, I'm going to do what is right. A reformed boy has integrity. You don't need to do Yahoo. Look at Coach Ebuka. You don't need to do Yahoo. You don't need to do HK. You don't need to go to a place and lock yourself up to learn how to defraud people. No. Have integrity. A reformed boy has purpose. A reformed boy knows his purpose. A reformed boy knows his purpose, because a lack of purpose makes you live a life without direction. Weakness is not your identity. Purpose is. For everyone who is here, I say to you in closing, embrace reformation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Ebuka. Thank you, Auntie Ruth, for the opportunity again to be here today. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. To all the boys, see you on Saturday. God bless you. Bye for now.
I don't even think I can talk. I don't think I can
Reviver.
talk.
Coach David, I thought I've known you, but there was when the Bible talks about, and there's this witness in our spirit when it was with our heart not born within us while he was speaking. You carry so much grace, so much presence and power. Your voice carries so much power, sir. My note is full, sir. Every crown is tested before it's handed over to you. I didn't as in this brought a lot of light about the crown on that. Thank you.
This is so amazing. I'm grateful, and it's just amazing to see how blessed these boys are.
Absolutely.
Guys, you are so blessed. Hey God. I hope the ladies are not saying, hey, why is it not us?
Why is it not us?
People are so blessed. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Coach
so
David.
much.
Thank you for
Oh my
pouring
God.
out your heart to the latest, I mean to the least, I mean to the last. Thank you so much. It's amazing to hear
Absolutely.
the kind of things that we have heard today.
Absolutely.
Our prayer and our counsel to the boys is that you do what you have heard.
Absolutely.
Don't just hear them, write them in your notes, say them, and you don't leave them. Where we will see the transformation is when you leave out what you have heard.
Absolutely.
What you have heard will just remain information. It will not become reformation.
Absolutely.
If you don't leave it out.
Absolutely.
And you know, Coach David always says this every year. Reformation begins from within. Reformation is not first what we see on the outside. It is your inner ability to say no, even if you have to stand alone. That's reformation.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much
Thank
once
you
again,
so
Coach
much.
David. We are
And
so
I know
blessed.
from today we'll not run away from pressure. Love
Hey.
running away is a pathway to the throne.
It's a pathway
And we
to
must
the
be
throne.
prepared for it. Thank you so much, Coach David. We honor you. I'll look
Thank
forward
you,
to seeing
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you so much.
See you on Saturday, Coach
All right,
David.
Kings. Thank you so much for joining tonight. It's been such an insightful session. Tomorrow, everyone should be here again. We're starting with our parents tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time.
Yes.
And then fathers at 4 p.m. Tell your parents tonight. Remind
It's not
them.
a session they should miss.
Nobody should miss it. And by 6 p.m., the boys, we are back for another 2-hour powerful session. 2 powerful speakers that you will thank me tomorrow after that. And on Saturday, we are back again. And he said a lot about Boys Leadership Academy. And I want to believe that if you're not part of us, please go online now, check for Boys Leadership Academy. Join us, okay? Join us. And so the parent flyer is displayed also on your screen, the parent session tomorrow. All right, 4 p.m., 3 p.m. We can see that Coach Wendy Ologe is coming.
Yay!
Oh my God!
Another session your parents.
And my daddy is coming. Coach Kunle Ologe, I celebrate this. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And then the evening session with the boys. And those boys have not joined the 10-in-1 football series. Wow. If you have not joined for this, on the 1st of June, we're having a 10-in-1 football series.
I'm sure the boys are saying, which one is 10-in-1 football? What's this man saying again? 10-in-1 football series is a power-packed book.
Power-packed book.
It's a book, yes.
Every boy should
Have you
read
read
it.
a book about football before? We have 10-in-1, 10 for you.
10.
You're going to read about the midfielder, the striker, the attacker, the coach, the goalkeeper, and all of them.
All of them.
Powerful lessons
Absolutely.
in that story. So what Coach Ebuka is saying is that the pre-order date for that book is the 1st of June. It's going to go up. You can start pre-ordering for it, and then you will receive your copy. You will read that book and you will look for me.
I'm telling
Coach
you.
Ebuka, did you notice that we get a lot of calls from people we don't know, boys we don't know. And they're like, I just read your book. Oh, wow. And I'm saying, wow. So you need to pick our book.
Absolutely.
When you read our books,
you will love it. And beyond this, I've written over 23 books.
Yes.
All right, for boys. Make sure you get into the academy part of it. Tomorrow, invite all your friends. Any boy you know that was not part of tonight's session, get them in tomorrow as we return for another mind-blowing experience. What's the final word to the boys tonight?
Don't waste the opportunities that you receive.
Don't waste.
If your parent forced you in here, you need to go give them a hug and say, thank you, daddy. Thank you, mommy. Don't waste opportunities. Don't waste opportunities. Make use of what you have received today, from the talk on discipline to the talk on how you manage your emotions, pressures, because they will come. They will come, and we have equipped you. We have empowered you. Don't waste it.
Don't waste it.
Use it.
All right. And don't forget that the crown, the pressure on the crown, is the pathway to the palace, to the top. All right. You must prepare yourself to navigate through and you win. We love you so much.
We love you.
And we can't wait to see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
And see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Hi there, my name is Anthony Nelson, and this is my Reformation story. Growing up as a child, I had a big challenge with my dad because I was not connecting with him. I had this tension, when it comes to expressing myself to him. My dad was physically present, but emotionally he was not available. So I could not connect with him, and this actually, bring low self-esteem. I wasn't able to have that confidence. When I go out to speak with other people, I don't have that confidence. I'm so scared about what they would say. There was just this low self-esteem there within me, and it actually affected my social life. It was a big challenge with me then, and I realized that this was a cycle in my family because my dad comes from a polygamous home, and the father had no time to care for them and care for their emotional needs. I tell you, boys have emotional needs. We have emotional needs. It is okay to cry, it is okay to express your feelings, your emotion. But this one thing that I never knew when I was growing up, I couldn't express my emotions. Why? Because I had no man in my life who will be able to fill that space, that emotional space, that will understand my emotional needs and all that. So that actually created a gap between me and my dad. So it was a challenge for me, even growing up in secondary school and even in the university. It has always been a big challenge to me until I met Save the Voice initiative. I met Coach Ebuka some years ago, and he became like a father to me. Like what I was looking for was in him. It's someone that understands my emotional need. Someone that was always there for me, who call me and say, how are you doing? I hope you are fine. How far? What's happening? What's new with you? Always checking up on me. He became my mentor. And I became so accountable to him that there are things I couldn't do because I know I'll have to give an account. He filled up that gap that was left vacant in me, and it has so much helped me to build my confidence. So I remember in 2022 when we were preparing for the International Boys Conference, I told him that I want to be, a volunteer. I really want to volunteer because I see what you are doing. I love the work, and I'm someone that has passion for young ones. But yet I don't know how to express myself. So I needed a community to join, to help me, bring out the potentials in me. Joining the initiative has helped my life. It has helped my life in no small way. Every boy needs a model. You need somebody to look up to, somebody you can be accountable to. One thing I realized that great men are men that have mentors. They have somebody they look up to, somebody they are accountable to. You need a community that will help you to grow, that will build you, nurture you, and inculcate values into your life for you to become a better person. So I encourage you today to join Save the Boys initiative, and then you will have a reformative story to share.